You do not need to ask permission. Let's just start with the honest truth. Legally, this is a public venue. It's in a public space. There's no assumption of privacy. You can take a shot, and you can do whatever with it. That's life. However, that said, the current cultural climate that we're in and the respect that we're trying to go for, stuff like that, yeah, ask. You just go up and say, hey, do you mind if I give you a shot? It's more being polite. People can kind of prep for it. People do it to different extents, but really, the reality is, no, you don't, even kids, it's a myth, you don't have to ask parents permission. But you know what, it's really nice just to go up to the parent and go, do you mind if I get a shot? It takes 2 seconds, and then the parent's much more cool with, creepy, fat, short dude taking their picture. And it's really just it goes back to the whole thing of don't be a dick. And so anything you can try to be polite, especially if you want them to pose. I mean, if you do a candid shot, just ask them to pose for a second. Okay. You guys?
Agree.
Yeah, pretty much agree. Just, hey, I like it. Just, may I take a photo of you? As opposed to walking up going click, because that's just weird. It's just weird. I know everybody. I had it happen when I used to cosplay. So many years ago. But I see it all the time. It's somebody I was in the middle of a shoot yesterday with a Thor and a Loki, and somebody came right up behind me, about a foot behind my shoulder, and went click, 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 and walked off. It just didn't ask the cosplayers at all. It just they click, click. All right, see you.
And sometimes they say no.
Yeah.
I'll go up to somebody, can I take your picture? Why? Why do you want it? And I'm like, well, you look really nice. You're in costume with 500 other people, right? And they're like, no, thank you. And you just, no, okay, thank you. Just walk away.
No worries.
Yeah, you're at a con and you're dressing up and you expect no one to take your photos. Really? Now, I can understand if you have a child, yes. I mean, our rules here are we ask and make sure and tell them, since you're part of the con, it's going to end up on their website. You make sure to tell them exactly where it's going to be. And then give them a card. I give them a card and say, hey, I'll Dropbox you in 2 weeks. Just, don't sell them to GQ magazine. That's all.
For me on those, it's like, from the journalistic front, I shoot without asking oftentimes because I want the distant shots. But in my opinion, the flip side that I owe them is not to ever make them look bad. That's just, I should never let them look bad. And I've seen them just kind of like intimate spots, the quiet exhaustion at the end of a day, and they're off on the side, and you get that shot. And it's the emotion of the end of the day. But you don't want to get one with a pick on their nose or in the midst of eating and they look bad. Again, try to look good. Sir.
Yeah, that's my favorite shot too. At the end of the day, when they're tired, they're sitting down, they're not posing, they're looking at each other like, oh, it's been a great convention. And it's just like it's Thor or Loki, whoever, and they're just relaxing. It's a great shot. But like you were saying, sometimes I don't want to tell them taking a picture because they're going to pose.
Right. Well, you can do a couple of ways. Like, again, for many of us, they all know us to a certain extent, and if they don't like to vlog me directly. But if you do get the Canon, what you can also do is then, right after you got the shot, walk up to them and show it to them. Kind of go, you looked great, this is the shot, do you mind if I use this shot? And that way you can have at least, you're like, what the hell? Because whenever you see the behind, shots or whatever, they go scampering off. If you come up and say, hey, can I get the shot? The person has a handler, too. You know what's great? You got the hot chick in the skinny outfit, whatever. Go talk to the handler, because it shows a great deal of respect to the person, because you're not just up and ogling them. Actually, and for me, when I'm dialing in shots, I shoot the handler, not the model, because if I'm shooting 57 shots of Jackie yesterday, it's like, that gets weird. So I'm going to shoot Michael instead, and just do what you can to make them feel comfortable. It's really much of it. We're just about down to the end. Any last questions we got? We'll do